You know, the admiration and respect that I have for the caregivers here at Children's Wisconsin is immense. But I have to say that there's a special place in my heart for all these families who share their stories.
Absolutely.
And all these people who are willing to go out of their way to tell their stories because of how much children's means, including our next guest. Jessica Decleene joins us. Jessica, born and raised in Green Bay. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm
Good.
fine,
And
thank
you
you.
still live in Green Bay, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yep.
So it comes down here.
Came all the way down here today.
Yes,
to be
we
part
did.
of this.
Thank you so much. All right, so your first interaction with Children's Wisconsin was way back, not that far back, she's not that old, but when you were 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you're up in Green Bay, you end up, why are you at the hospital and what did they find?
So it's actually quite a funny story. We were at my grandma's house, and my cousin, who was younger than I at the time, decided it would be a good idea to put a whole boiled egg in his mouth.
Oh yeah, that's not
No.
good idea. Yeah.
And so obviously my little sister at the time was a newborn, and she was on the couch because my mom was like, you know, changing her diaper or whatnot.
Right, sure.
And everybody ran over to help him, and my little sister rolled off the couch and broke her arm.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So my mom was like, because I was complaining about headaches, you know, throughout the summer, but kids, you know, tend to do that.
Sure.
And my mom brought us both in. She's like, you know what, I'm going to bring them both in just to get them checked out, and that's where they found the 3-inch brain tumor in the back of my head.
Oh my gosh. So because your cousin
Yes.
has this hard-boiled egg in his mouth,
Right.
Yeah.
you know,
And then your sister breaks her arm.
Yes.
Your mom says this is a good idea to have everybody
It's like,
checked
and
out.
by the way, she's having headaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Christmas, I'd always be like, hey, thanks for choking on that egg.
You may have
Right?
saved your life.
Exactly.
That when
No.
she brought you in for a headache.
Yeah, so they found, she saw it right away, and then they took me for an MRI in Green Bay. And then, you know, they told her what they found. And they brought me to a doctor, and I actually still remember this, in Green Bay, who told my parents just to make me comfortable because I wasn't going to make it. Because what was happening with the brain tumor was cutting off my spinal fluid. So it was hydrocephalus of the brain, and that is what would ultimately, you know, kill me if I
So
kept that.
essentially,
Wow.
they just said make her comfortable.
Yes. So my parents did not take that lightly, and they reached out to Children's. So I came down here like on a Tuesday. They gave me till that week to live. So I had to go into surgery immediately. So I was in like a 10-hour surgery that Friday, and I think we got here Tuesday or Wednesday, but then you got to figure out all that stuff,
Sure.
and there I was.
Okay, so the surgery takes 10 hours, and what was the result of the surgery?
So they told my parents the absolute best I would be in a wheelchair with a tremor on the left side of my body. So, like being here now,
Not in a wheelchair.
not in a wheelchair, not with a tremor. I mean, looking at me, you wouldn't even tell.
Never in a million years would anyone look at
No.
you and think that there was anything ever wrong
Right.
with you.
No, you know, so the fact that, you know, even though they said that to my parents, my mom was like, I don't care, I'll take her however she comes out. And I came out like this. Hey.
Hey, can I get that surgery? Man, I want to tell you though, that is one of the most unique and incredible stories I've heard.
Yeah.
So now, it's a few years later, and tell everybody about that really cool headband
Yeah,
that you're
sure.
wearing.
Still coming down to children.
Absolutely. So I actually started a nonprofit called You Bedazzle, and we have a website, www.youbedazzle.com. And what it is I had to have my head shaved, the back of it, when I was 6, so I was going into first grade. And being a girl, your hair is very something that, you know, is important to us. So my teacher made the first week of school a hat week because I would, I'd have bald on the back. And I remember, when you grow up feeling different or having something that traumatic, all you want to do is feel somewhat normal. I remember what it was like to feel, that insecurity. And, I started You Bedazzle because I wanted little girls who are going through cancer treatments or when they lose their hair to not let that define them. I always felt like I was walking into the room being known as the girl with the brain tumor. I don't want another little girl to always have to wear that label of the girl with cancer, or they can walk into the appointment as just a regular girl who has a really cool headband, and that's solely what today we did a large donation, and I actually got to give a little girl with cancer a headband, and let me tell you, that was the absolute coolest thing I think I've ever done. Her excitement, it was just, it was,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, so now you come down here, you volunteer your time, you make these headbands or ninja,
Yes, for the boys.
yeah.
Yep.
And give back, that's great.
Yeah, well, that's what it's about. I believe hope is such like a contagious thing. Children's Hospital gave my parents hope, and these headbands to me is like giving little kids hope, saying, hey, I had the odds stacked against me too. I'm not supposed to be here, you know what I mean? But I have hope in you. I made this for you. You shine, you bedazzle, because that's what you're made to do.
You're so correct,
Yeah.
though. It's all about hope. And Children's Wisconsin instills that hope in not just the patients, but also the families. And that's so important when it
Yeah.
comes to healing as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing, Jessica. And thank you
Yeah.
for coming down here.
Absolutely.
From Green Bay. We appreciate it.